day that I will make Dr. Odili and his family to cry, God, don't allow me to grow. These people suffered. These people suffered blackmail, everything, because of some people like us. Sir, I want to tell you today. I want to tell you today before people hear. I will never be alive to make you cry on your wife. I will never do it.
I will never be alive. Sir. Today, I will never be alive to make you and your wife to cry. Obo, that was about 2 years ago. You know? And just yesterday, Wike has forgotten that.
He said personal lesson. Who is not having the personal lesson? His wife is chairman of government council. His daughter is commissioner. His daughter is a judge. He now is the general overseer. So who is now taking the state and the private? I'm sure. If he has not taken it, I'm sure. If there's any hope, he can even arrange a marriage for the government. I can tell you that. If I tell you how the daughter became a commissioner, you'll be shocked. You are here. I'm Muslim. It was his nephew, the senior brother's son, that was recommended to that commissioner. You know what he had to do? Oh no, let's look at our sister. Look at my sister. He said, I was thinking of an elder sister who they have nominated their nephew, their senior brother's son. I thought you would have said, no, please. This is my nephew. It's my senior brother's son. My senior brother just died. So I'm their father now. They took it. I just took it.
Wike. So we call him Wike. Is a complete mental. And if you know how many people that are waiting for what is going to be his end, I mean, like Wike's end, because the only lifeline he has right now is that Tipnumbu made him a minister. If anything should happen, that they drop him, Wike is finished. Like Sefene kind of finished. And there are people waiting to see that happen. You know? I don't know, maybe it's never going to happen. Because if governance is about the people and the people have a say, you know, the likes of Wike probably will never wield the kind of influence they wield. Similarly, right? It's not just the political class. Even the traditional schools in Nigeria has become so compromised. So recently we have been having this back and forth arguments of Sharia in Yoruba land. And yesterday I told you that as Yorubas, we know we have political obas in Yoruba land. Okay, we have extremists in Yoruba land, Islamic extremists in Yoruba land as well. But they've never had a chance of being in the majority. Okay, and they are still hoping they will because they are already threatening us. You know, like this one.
ló fi jẹ́ pé ẹni tó bá bú ànábì wa Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ìdájọ́ rẹ̀ inú ìyà àtayé tí ó jẹ ni kí wọ́n pa. So bí wọ́n bá bú ànábì àfi kéèyàn ó kú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ànábì wa Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam bí wọ́n bá bú àfi kéèyàn ó kú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. So torí ẹ̀ anybody mọ wọn ara rẹ má bu ànábì sallallahu alaihi wasallam má sọ̀sọ̀ kú sọ ń pa ànábì ìdájọ́ ẹni tó bá bu ànábì ikú ni.
látòní ilà wa náà ó sì kéde á dìde á gbìjà ọlọ́run ẹ̀sìn tàwa sọ pé ká máa gbìjà ọlọ́run kí la jẹ́ mùsùlùmí sí kí ló ní a máa sìn wọ́n sí kí ló ní a máa tẹ̀lé.
So the first guy said that the punishment for insulting the Prophet Muhammad, is death. Do you understand? Like death, if you insult the prophets, it's either they kill you or you kill them. That's the judgment, because they have to stay there and kill you, or they will die there. These are the extremists. Okay? I'm not encouraging you to insult anyone's religion and what have you. Sure, you get my hand. But when you listen to guys like that, the other one said, as from today, they are now going to be fighting for their God. I said, why do you have to fight for God? Like, bro, why? Why do you want to fight for? To prove that you have God? You want to fight for God? When it turns to you to fighting for yourselves, you will leave the fight for God. This is typical of Nigerians, okay? And I think this is what do you call it? In context, right? It is not same with the two religions, okay? But there are others too who are like ready to fight for God. They will tell you they are fighting for God. But when it is time for them to fight for themselves, they will leave the fight for God. So we leave it for God. God will fight for us. So fight for yourself too. Use that same energy. Why do you want to fight for God? Why? I mean, there are over 6,000 different gods in the world, in case if you don't know. There are over 6,000 religions. And every one of them believe that their own God is the right God. Just so you know. So, but why do you want to fight for God? I don't know. I mean, it's part of the stuff I kind of like always ask myself. But it's been that level of violence that some of these extremists have been waiting to unleash. But because of the way Yoruba land is sort of structured, right? Your extremism or extreme views, they will remain inside your compound, inside your family house. If you bring it outside, you will be matched with the same level of violence. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter whether you are a Muslim or a Christian. In Yoruba land, okay, nobody has that monopoly of violence. Okay, forget about all this social media rant and what have you. Okay, if you bring out your what have you, if you bring out your violence so that you want to kind of unleash it on people in the name of fighting for prophets, or you are fighting for Allah, you will be matched with the same violence that you will be forced to actually either run or beg. It is what it is. And that is why, and this is just how the Yoruba land is kind of like structured. So all this extreme view, all this extreme kind of like view about religion is so alien to us. Yes, you may read it anywhere that says Islam says you have to do this, Islam says you have to do that. I'm not disputing that, but in Yoruba land, that's not how we do it. That's not how we do it there. So I am not going to fall for this social media kind of like comparison and the rest of that, okay? Indeed, I know when it comes to northern part of Nigeria, right? They have this large number of extremists, no doubt. When you come to Yoruba land, I'm not saying we don't have extremists too, but that your extremism, inu le yin ni, inu agbole yin ni, nínú madrasa yín ni mọ́ṣáláṣí yín ló ti máa ṣe wèrè yẹn. If you bring it outside that four wall of your mosque or four wall of your house, you will be matched with the same level of violence. Like you can have the first one. So nígbà táwọn yẹn bá máa regroup tó bá máa padà wá, ìjọ tí yín máa sá kúrò ní mọ́ṣáláṣí yẹn ni. It is how the Yoruba land is. And we must ensure that these growing views of this extremism in the name of religion, we continue to educate our young people to stay away from it. Because these ones are like potential terrorists. And please, people should stop crowning bastards as Oba in Yoruba land. These are weak men that are opening the door of invasion of Yoruba land. For example, listen to this Dangbana, who is redefining what our tradition is and what our culture is. Dangbana Rashidi.
Ẹni tí ọba mọba ní fọba ṣeré ìyẹn ọba tọba mọ Ọlọ́run ọba kìí ṣe ọba tí bá ń bọ ìṣà ni ẹ ń sọ wọn àwọn ọba tí wọn bá ń bọ ìṣà yìí mí lọ ń bọlúwo tí ń tẹrí ibà fọlúwo máa gbogbo àwọn ọba yìí òṣà ni ẹ ń bọ so àyà wọn máa ń já ni. ṣàṣàánú àṣà Yorùbá kọrùn ìṣe Yorùbá kọ́ nìyún àṣà ni káwa wo òfin. Kọ wọ sányá kọ wọ làlárì kọ wàdìrẹ kọ jó kọ sọ Yorùbá kí á lùlù ntí ń pè láṣàánú kìí ṣe ìbọ̀rìṣà yìí ṣe àṣà kìí ṣe ìṣe ẹ̀sìn àwọn kan ẹ̀sìn àwọn kéékèèké kan nígbà wọn bá ibi tí ó bàjẹ́ ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá dé tí wọ́n bá béèrè nípa àṣà àti ṣe ǹjẹ́ àwọn tí wọ́n máa lọ bí àwọn babaláwo àwọn olóòṣà àwọn tí wọ́n tẹ́ pé ìpìlẹ̀ wọn ǹjẹ́ mọ́ tí wọ́n fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti òṣèré eléré pàímọ́ òṣèré ìsọ̀lú Ògúnṣọlá ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n ń bi léèrè àṣà àti ṣe Yorùbá tẹ́ bá wọn náà kàn mọ́ ní Ifá ní mọ́ yan ọba kọ́ bá kábí rẹ̀ lè ṣé fá mú ọ ta ni máa yan ọba Olódùmarè ta ni ń pè lÓlódùmarè ẹni tó ní gbogbo odù ní olódù wọ́n ní odù fákan 16 odù fákan 256 tí máa ti ń ṣe máa ti ń yódù kóòdù tọ́lọ́ fi dálé ayé lẹ́jọ́dù codes. You are talking about codes. How can codes of this world be 256? How can it be 16?
Nuisance lele.
Do you understand? This is why we are saying that please stop crowning bastards as Yoruba Obas. He's telling people there that the idea of the oracle choosing a king was something that people copied from movies. That's what he said. People will say it is the oracles that chooses the king. That is nonsense. That all that one are just idea that people copied from movies. They're like, doing their rituals, sacrifices, all this. They are nonsense. That's not Yoruba culture. That's not Yoruba tradition. It is some people's religion. That's the guy that woke up and started calling himself Emir of Iwo, Dangbana Rashidi. Yeah? Oba Loud. They call him Oba Loud. He's also a drug addict as well. A fraudster, a Yahoo boy, they call him. Not they call him, he is a fraudster. How he managed to bribe those hungry kingmakers in Iwo, and immediately they made him Oba. He just kicked the majority of them out. He beat some of them up for daring to disobey him. Old men, he gathered them together, beat them up. So all of you making of us in Yoruba land because of your ejekuje, we hope that you'll keep learning. in Yoruba land, we are traditionalists. From this our tradition is where people got converted to Islam, got converted to Christianity, and it is not in your place to now desecrate this tradition. You don't have to be part of it. If you believe in that your religion so much, don't be a king. But unfortunately, they have destroyed all of that. They have. You will see a king. He will kneel down before Adeboye. Adeboye will put his hand on a king, and he's praying for a Yoruba king. Yoruba king, Ile Yoruba. Adeboye will put his hand on a king. Apart from the fact that they are useless anyway, because local government chairman, ordinary local government chairman can remove any king. When I say any, including your first class Oba, second class Oba, or third class, whoever class they put you. That's how much they have been degraded or downgraded, unfortunately. But again, to those of you extremists pushing down your nonsense Sharia in Yoruba land, you will be matched by the same violence that you probably have inside you. Because some of you even look like, some of them look like mentally deranged people. When you listen to them, when you look at the way they talk, when you listen to them and you look at the way they express themselves when they are talking like that, you will know that they are not normal. We have always been peacefully coexisting. Practice your religion, practice your belief, and listen, there will be no Sharia law in Yoruba land. And to those of you who are saying that we are going to have Yorubanistan, you can dream on. Okay? You can dream on. There's something I wanted to say, but I'll just leave it at that. But guess what? In Anambra State, right? A Dibia built an hotel. And he invited a reverend father to come and bless it and open it. In Anambra, that is what you call peaceful coexistence. Take a look at this.
Thank you.
Yes, so native doctor completed the construction of an hotel. And on the day of commissioning, he invited the Reverend Father to come and bless it. Peaceful coexistence. The whole atmosphere, the whole sky is pretty much wide enough for every bird to fly without, flying into one another. Religion in the southern part of Nigeria is not, it's not a decider. You be whatever you want to be. whenever you want to be. Practice it and do not infringe on other people's rights. That's the southern part of Nigeria. That, especially me that grew up in Yoruba land, that's how it's done. You know, we've never had any religious crisis. None that I can actually remember in southern part of Nigeria of that contraption. We're talking about crisis, okay, and religion. A lady took a member of her family and friends to the office of a pastor. And wahala yaso, wahala yakari, wahala started. What happened? The lady wanted to pay 10,000 naira tithes. But somehow she made a mistake by adding extra zero to it, making it 100,000 naira. And as a regular tithe payer in a church, he walked straight to a pastor's office. I said, Pastor, I've made mistake. Oh. I just sent 100,000 naira from my business now to the church account instead of 10,000. Here is my bank account. Please let me send the 90,000 back. And the pastor